pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everybody. First item on the agenda to entertain a motion to approve the agenda as posted to the news media 24 hours prior to the meeting.
So moved.
And motion by Mr. Blanford,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Davies. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, we have the City Leader Statement. The City of Hampton endeavors at all times to promote and model the principles of professionalism, trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. In conducting this evening's meeting, we expect that all participants will act in a respectful manner consistent with these principles. Next item is the council workshop for the 13th and the 20th. Them are available online. Next item is public comment. Is there any public comment today? Hearing none, we'll move on. No public hearings, no old business. Moving on to our new business. First item is to consider the bond council and engagement agreement with Ehlers and Cooney. Mr. Dunt.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a bond council engagement agreement. This is for the bond issuance that we will be doing for the rehabilitation of 4 and 6 First Street Northwest, the old pharmacy property. The fees are shown on page 4, not to exceed $9,000. Are there any questions?
Hearing no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the bond council engagement agreement with Ehlers and Cooney.
I would move we approve.
Motion by Mr. Davies, second by Mr. Palmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the consider the engagement letter with PFM for bond into issuance. Mr. Dunt.
Thank you. Again, this is also related to the bond issuance, and this is for Public Financial Management to act as our financial advisor and working with Ehlers and Cooney as part of the issuance of the bonds. And their fees are on Exhibit B. Would be an under $1 million general obligation debt, and so it would range between 5,000 and 1% or 7,000. Any questions?
Questions? Not hearing any. I would entertain a motion to approve engagement letter with PFM for bond issuance.
So moved.
Motion by Miss Griefy. Second. Second by Mr. Palmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, consider the approval of pay estimate number 5 to Kinkle Construction for the water treatment plant. Mr. Nunt.
Thank you. On the second page is the spreadsheet of pay estimate number 5. It shows unit price, and then the quantity completed by percentage, and then the value that's been completed. So for the bottom of the extended price column, $2,085,000, that's the project contract. And so far, there's been $675,350 of work or materials on site. And then if you go back to page 3 of 3, that number continues on. The value completed, $675,350. On down less, a retained percentage of 5%, which is $33,767.50. And then in the next box, it shows previously approved partial payments. So we made a payment in May, and then September, November, and December, and less the total pay estimates previously approved, which is $309,842.50. So the amount due this estimate is $331,740. Any questions?
Did we get does that, the valve get in for that, for the water?
Yeah, the filter cell
Filter?
got put in the building and it is seated on the slab, and now they'll work towards plumbing and getting it hooked up, so.
All right.
Maybe sometime after that's all finished, we have a little guided tour sometime.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
nice.
yeah. All right, any other questions? Not, I entertain a motion to approve pay estimate number 5 to Tinkle Construction for the water treatment plant.
So moved.
Is that a motion?
Yep.
Motion number by
I'll
Mr.
second.
Blanford, second by Mr. Davies. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the consider approval of a managed service provider equipment agreement with Merit Computer Service. Mr. Dunt.
Thank you. This is a managed service agreement with Merit Computer Service for IT services for City Hall, Water Department, and wastewater. And it's basically a retainer, which amounts to about $156 a month for backups, virus protection, firewall work, things like that. Mr. Merritt was here Monday at the workshop, I think answered most of your questions. I would try to answer if anybody has any, but
I think we kind of covered this Monday night, but
Yeah.
if there's any other questions for Mr. Dunt or not hearing any, I would entertain a motion to approve the managed service provider agreement with Merit Computer Service.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Griefy, second by Mr. Palmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I would just note that I did put Eric in contact with Susie at the library, so they're communicating now, so, thank you.
That's good. All right, next item, I'd entertain a motion to approve claims as submitted by staff in the amount of $450,412.49.
I move we approve the claims.
Mr. Davies has motion,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Blanford. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We can pay our bills. Next, we have approval of some resolutions this year. The first one is Resolution 2025-01. This is a resolution naming the depositories for the city of Hampton. Mr. Dunt.
Thank you, Mayor. Be it resolved, the City of Hampton Council of Hampton, Iowa, Franklin County approves following list of financial institutions to be depositories of the City of Hampton. Funds in conformance with all applicable provisions of Iowa Code, Chapters 452 and 453, as amended by 1984 Acts. City manager is hereby authorized to deposit City of Hampton funds in amounts not to exceed the maximum approved for each respective financial institution as set out below. Excuse me. We've got First Bank Hampton, First Security Bank, iPay, United Bank and Trust listed. And under this resolution, maximum balance in effect under this resolution would be $10 million. Any questions?
Hearing none. Again, we went over this the other night. So with that, I'd entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2025-01.
So moved?
Second it.
Motion by Mr. Palmer, second by Ms. Griffey. This will be a roll call, yeah. It's a roll call vote. We have Mr. Davies,
Aye.
Mr. Palmer,
Aye.
Mr. Lamos,
Aye.
Ms. Griffey,
Aye.
Mr. Blanford.
Aye.
And note that Mr. Hodge is absent this evening, so resolution does pass. Next item, next resolution is 2025-02. This is a resolution approving a banking services agreement. Mr. Dunt.
Thank you. We went over this Monday as well. I'll just kind of recap. This is a banking service agreement. This would be for a 3-year term ending December 2027. And it's for banking services, main checking account, other accounts, savings accounts that we deem necessary. The interest rates will be determined based on the average of the prior month's 6 months constant maturity treasury rate, compounding monthly. The rate would be adjusted monthly on the first business day of the month, and a minimum floor rate would be 0.75%. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Not hearing any questions, I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2025-02.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Griffey,
Second.
second by Mr. Palmer. Again, also a roll call vote. Mr. Palmer,
Aye.
Mr. Griffey,
Aye.
Mr. Davies.
Aye.
Mr. Lamos,
Aye.
Mr. Blanford,
Aye.
and again, Mr. Hodge is still absent. Resolution is approved. Next resolution, we have 2025-03. This is a resolution authorizing the partial redemption of outstanding general obligation capital loan notes, Series 2024, dated May 2nd, 2024. Mr. Dunt.
Thank you, Mayor. So this, if you recall, this is for a fire truck loan. We did a partial loan because we didn't have enough funds on hand to purchase the last fire truck. This was in 2024, and we have collected enough local option sales tax to pay off essentially the 2025 June 1st payment and the June 1st of 2026 payment of $50,000 each. So we'll be paying $100,000 of the $125,000 note. So that'll cut down on interest that we're going to be incurring. So the principal balance will be $25,000. And then I'm anticipating that we'll be able to pay that $25,000 in fiscal year '26, which is the budget we're putting together right now. So, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Not hearing any questions, I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2025-03.
So moved?
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Palmer, second by Mr. Davies. Roll call vote. I'll get this down. I didn't get enough of them. Mr. Lamos.
Aye.
Mr. Blanford.
Aye.
Ms. Griefy.
Aye.
Mr. Davies.
Aye.
Mr. Palmer.
Aye.
And again, Mr. Hodge is absent. Resolution passes. Next one is Resolution 2025-04. This is a resolution fixing a date for a meeting on the proposition to authorize a loan agreement with, and the issuance of not to exceed $700,000 in notes to evidence the obligation of the city. Mr. Dunn.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is basically putting out notice that we are considering the issuance of a bond not to exceed $700,000 capital loan notes. It's issued to evidence the obligation of the city thereunder. It's necessary to comply with the provisions of Code of Iowa and to publish notice of the proposal of the time and place of the meeting at which the council proposes to take action for the authorization of a loan agreement and notes, and receive oral and written objections from any resident or property owner of the city to take action. The city council will meet in council chambers at 6 p.m. on the 13th day of February 2025 for the purpose of taking action on the matter of authorizing a loan agreement, an issuance of not to exceed $700,000 of GO capital loan notes for essential corporate purposes, the proceeds of which will be used to provide funds to pay for costs of acquisition, restoration, demolition of abandoned, dilapidated, dangerous buildings, structures, and properties of the abatement of nuisance, which is the pharmacy property. The clerk is authorized and directed to proceed on behalf of the city with the negotiation of terms of a loan agreement and the issuance of GO capital loan notes evidencing the city's obligations to the principal amount not to exceed $700,000, to select a date for the final approval thereof, and to cause to be prepared such notice and sale of information as may appear appropriate, to publish and distribute the same on behalf of the city and this council, and otherwise take action necessary to permit the completion of the loan on a basis favorable to the city and acceptable to the council. Clerk is hereby directed to cause at least one publication to be made of the notice of meeting in the local newspaper. Publication shall be not less than 4 clear days nor more than 20 days before the date of the meeting. Any questions? This is essentially setting the date of a hearing.
Yep. Moving forward with all this, the pieces that we need to get in place. So not hearing any further questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2025-04.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Blanford,
Second.
second by Mr. Palmer. My last shot. Roll call vote. Mr. Davies.
Aye.
Mr. Palmer's.
Aye.
Ms. Griefy.
Aye.
Mr. Blanford.
Aye.
Mr. Lamos.
Aye.
And note also Mr. Hoggs is still absent. Resolution is passes. Thank you. Next, we have the consent agenda consisting of approving the previous minutes as drafted from the Thursday, January 29th, 2025 regular session, and scheduling the next regular session for Thursday, February 13th at 6:00 p.m. in City Council chambers. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Griefy,
Second.
second by Mr. Davies. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Taking down to our staff reports. Chief Morrison.
As you've probably seen, our second annual Police Citizens Academy is beginning on February 26, 2025. We are accepting applications. I saw it on the Chronicle's Facebook page and in the paper. They did a nice job there. And it'll cover topics like law, search and seizure, nuisance, and use of force, and lots of other topics. It'll be another good opportunity for people to get to know what we do. Hopefully we get another full class. Last year was full, and this year I think we have 3 so far signed up, but in the next coming weeks I hope to get more added. On the nuisance side of things, we got the LaRue property 98% complete. There's still a few small things that need to be taken care of. There's some oil containers that still need to be getting rid of, but we're working through some of those things there. We had 3 nuisance cleanups in the last couple weeks. We did get the billing done for all of those and sent out, and we have photos of before and after that we'll share before a meeting here sometime in the near future. We received our new Axon in-car camera systems. We hope to get those installed soon, and those were the money for that project came from the Barkman grant, so we thank them. We continue to try to find our next new officer. We had to reschedule our testing because it was on the same day as Mason City, and we share a lot of the same applicants. So we have a new one set up for a couple weeks from now. So hopefully we get something out of that. And we applied for the Community Foundation grant for some vehicle computer upgrades. So got that out there. That's all I have, unless there's questions.
I've got one.
Branford?
I heard that one of the cemeteries around over by Hansel had vandalism over there done.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Do we patrol those and drive through those just to kind of keep an eye on that type of
I think
stuff?
Mr. Tar had most of that part of the discussion, but I'll touch on it for just a
Okay.
second. There were a lot of thefts of memorial-type plaques out in the county in the cemeteries, monuments. We have had one stolen out of Memorial Park, and so we've been monitoring the cemetery. I have the guys doing extra patrols in the cemetery. It sounds like they're ending up in the scrapyard. So I think we're going to get there. The investigation's still ongoing.
What is it, like made out of bronze or something? Is that why they're?
Yeah.
So they just kind of hopefully flag that at the.
Yeah, we've been in communication. The sheriff's office has been in communication with the scrapyards. I think we're going to end up, without saying too much, it's an ongoing investigation, and I think we'll come to a resolution.
That's good. Thank you.
Do we have any kind of cameras or trail cams set up there?
Not currently. We talked about putting those up today, but it's an ongoing problem that I think will be solved soon.
I hope so. It's
You'll
just-
figure it out.
That's really, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Yes, it
it is.
That's pretty low.
It's pretty low. I don't know how anybody could stoop that low.
It's very low.
I did see a van parked in a handicap spot downtown the last 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
I didn't know if they had a talking to about that or anything
We'll
else.
just write a citation.
You're talking about in front of the shop?
Yeah.
Those are my contractors working upstairs, and actually, it's the truck that is handicapped. And I thought, too, he didn't have a sticker,
Okay.
but he does.
All right.
And some are
They had
on the
him backed in
license.
funny and I didn't.
Yeah.
Some are on the license plates. Not all of them have the hanger. But
Yeah,
yeah.
he's got one, he's got his tucked up in the corner of his windshield.
Okay.
So I didn't see it.
Well, case solved.
Okay, another case solved.
Yeah,
Like
quickly.
that.
Thank you.
Gee whiz.
Any other questions for Mr. Chief Morrison?
And I'll take that, that class as long as it doesn't bump anybody else. So if
Sure.
we got 8 or 9 people and need another body, another warm body, I'll do it.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Tar?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. As we talked Monday, we started the week off with a water main break and repair at 3rd Avenue Southeast and 1st Street Southeast. These cold temps and no snow cover have made for a bad recipe for some things. I'm gonna knock on wood, hope we don't have any more, but we need some ground cover, so it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit of snow, and I hate that word. We had a progress meeting at the water plant pertaining to the project. Things are moving along. Finally, we got the filter into the building last week, and then I believe this next Tuesday, the control panel work is scheduled. That's going to be pretty intricate because obviously we need to be able to supply water, but we're going to be down for a little bit on the day that we do the changeover, and we're just going to make sure the water tower is full and hope Mother Nature works with us on the other end of things and we don't have any bleeds. New burn site construction is definitely underway. We have a lot of materials being hauled from the old wastewater treatment facility. We have some granite ballast rock that's being hauled out there to be sub-base for our burn pad and for some additional road. And that's going really good. Joint effort there with the county boys. I attended court this morning for a Hampton Police Department criminal case. It went well. All restitution was made. Everything was paid in full and all that good stuff, and that's rare. So we're glad to have that. As Chief touched upon what you were discussing with the plaques and the things of that nature, and yeah, it's very disheartening. And I just hope when they catch somebody, they're punished by the fullest extent of the law on this. So, because I do think that there is, there just definitely needs to be some sort of ramification for that because it's
Most of those
pretty
are veterans.
classless.
Those are veterans plaques.
Yeah, very well aware, and that's why it kind of hits me a bit hard
Right,
too.
right.
So, kind of angers
Is that
me.
notice sent out statewide so all police departments know about it? And also, the junkyards, are
I-
southern Minnesota gonna,
I think it's we can't talk about where things are. So I think just rest assured, I think law enforcement has a very good handle on this.
It's, we send it out through Lean Law Enforcement Intelligence Network, and so other communities will see it too. It seems to be more of a local thing than anything out too far. It seems to be basically our county and maybe one or two of the surrounding. And there also is a network through the Law Enforcement Intelligence Network that hits the scrap yards
great,
and pawn shops, and et
Yep.
cetera.
thank you.
Because I think those flag holders are the same material too. Those
Right.
veterans flag holders.
Yep. Vintage Light project's nearing completion. The electrician is completely done. Now it's just a matter of finishing to get the globes in, but we're still waiting. We ordered the last remaining 32 of those, I think. Is that, I think, about where we were. So as soon as we get those in, guys will get them up. And the ones that have been done, if you guys have noticed and been downtown to see some of the new globes and the new lighting, it really brightens things up and looks good. I can't wait to get them all done and have everything consistent. So definitely a huge improvement. Let's see. And then staff looked at the Harriman Park Welcome Sign Spotlight. They had an opportunity, however, we have to reach out to Mid-American to help us with that. I was advised by Nate that the power lines on that pole are big ones, so we're not real comfortable with that, so we're gonna have Mid-American help us out with rearranging that light. And then rental inspections have been going like they're out of style lately, so that was good. We had some today, and I think in the last 2 weeks, there's been probably 14, 16 units, somewhere in that ballpark. So we just keep rolling through those, and that's going well. So other than that, any questions or concerns?
Yeah, somebody asked me about the Vosburg property up on North First Street.
Okay?
I think it's beginning to look very good. Or
Yeah, what was the complaint?
just about the vehicles there and if they're all
Well,
licensed.
you know, right, and so sometimes people need to understand too with like the vehicles, and the chief, he's busy, but, so with the vehicles, right, code's a little bit different on that. They gotta be licensed, right? But if they move them a little bit, and we got people that play the game, they'll go move them 3-4 feet, what are you gonna do? How, you know, we don't go and spray paint and
Right.
chalk line things. But, however, you know, if they're actually nuisance in appearance, you know what I mean, like rusted out completely or something like that, I think we got a little more teeth that we can work on some of that. And I know that there had been a couple of those up there over the years, you know, and it just, but yeah, things are looking better. Still not where I would like
Right.
it, and I'm sure not where the chief would like it.
But I don't know how much you can just stomp around on somebody's private property and look at their license tags either.
Right, right. Well, one of the recommendations to Mr. Vosberg over the years has been put a privacy fence up and with some gates, and people don't have to look at it. And not to say, hey, just hide your junk, but honestly, that's where we're at with it. So it's just like, help us help you.
Right.
You know, because we will, you know, but there comes a point in time where we have to write citations and
Right.
municipal infractions.
Appreciate it.
I'd like to see the ordinance changed. You know,
Yeah, something we can look at,
it's all part of blight.
right? Don't disagree.
I mean, we went out and Doug went out and filmed 144 junk trailers in people's backyards. And some were nice. Some were nice trailers. I don't have a problem with those. But, you know, when you got a four-wheeled vehicle, there's only 2 tires on a four-wheeled cart. That's junk.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not just there. We have it throughout, but I also know PD's been very, very aggressive lately. You know, like I said, what was it, 21 or so notices just sent, and you know, some of that they can't help you. There's certain time frames for those, for something that's licensed, registered with the state. But I understand your point on the nuisance end of it too.
I hear anybody else, so I'm going to mention real quick, the nuisance takes time, we know that.
Yep.
And I think we're seeing some headway, and I think the one thing that I'd like to mention, because I've noticed it, is that we're making headway with the courts. It used to be, well, the court's holding us up, the court says, we're hold. It's not happening now. It's starting to get, stuff's starting to get through, get taken care of, and you guys are taking care of it, and for that, I really appreciate that, and I think that's gonna
Thank you.
show
Yeah,
really
we
quick.
appreciate the court's efforts now. It's just, it's really smooth and, yeah.
It's been going on for 20 years and we got the same violators.
Yeah, you're not wrong there too. It's over and over and over.
I think we're making headway on it. And again, it's a slow process, but I think Mark and Doug are doing a great job with that, and the courts are helping us out, so.
Thank you.
Always helps too, so. Anything else?
I mean, you got 21 here since the first of the year, and this ended on the 14th. I mean, that's hustling along. When you've got other stuff to do. I mean,
Right.
this is not everything you do all day.
Right.
And I mean, that's,
Gotta hire people, we gotta do citizens gathering, we
mhm,
do traffic control, accidents.
yeah. So,
Organized chaos.
Yeah. And I see three repeat offenders just when I glance at it. I haven't even read it yet, so you'll just keep doing. Yep, I know it. So just keep doing what you're doing.
and with no snow, that's helped too.
Yep. So, all right.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Dunt.
I don't have anything specific to report. I'll answer any questions anybody might have. Just remind you that the next budget workshop is Monday, February 3rd.
Yep. And there won't be one on the 27th.
There will not
so
be one
that
next-
was on
next
our
Monday.
budget calendar, so.
Correct.
Not hearing anything. Thank you, sir. Start with Mr. Davies.
Okay, I have some dates, future dates you can put on your calendar. The next Franklin County Tourism Board meeting is February 13th. The next Chamber Quarterly Coffee is March 7th over at the Latimer Community Center, and Mort's Water Company will be the host of that event. On March 22nd, the Chamber will have their annual dinner. I know Jerry's on that committee, so I don't want to steal any of her thunder. And then August 13th is the American Main Street Accreditation Meeting. As you know, like the current, our Main Street program is on probation, and they're going to be meeting with us again, so we're going to work, the Chamber of Main Street, we're working towards getting off of that probation. But the 13th, it's important for, I know the city's been involved in, I think been good about attending the meetings. They have meetings with the committees, and I think that's where the need improvement that we're working on is getting those Chamber Main Street committees actively working and making sure the volunteers participate not only in the committee meetings, but also in that accreditation meeting. That's all I have.
Jim, where's the annual dinner at?
The annual dinner is going to be at the Hampton Country Club. I think it'll start like at 5:30. And I'm sure Jerry would be glad to answer any other questions.
Sure.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Well, let's go to Jerry.
Well, I've been working on the, I'm on the promotion committee for the chamber, and we've been working on planning the annual appreciation dinner. And yes, it's March 22nd, 5 to 6:30.
5, excuse me.
And we're really working hard on this one. It's going to be the best one ever. You got to come. You got to come. Our theme is Better Together. Tickets are $35 a piece. We are not having a sit-down meal. We're having heavy hors d'oeuvres and bar, not an open bar, but it's going to be fun. We're not, entertainment that's being planned is actually interactive, a fun game, Family Feud. It's going to be great. It's going to be a blast. We're excited about it. And thank you, Kevin, we are also having silent auction. Kevin gave us a tremendous prize for the silent auction. I know it's going to bring big bucks. And thank you, Jim, for your work on Main Street. It's something I think is very important, and I'm excited about that as well.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. Mr. Palmer,
Just one thing, sometime down the road, and it doesn't need to be, February or March, but sometime, I know they had a big fire at the recycling plant or whatever they do in Mason City with that recycling, but one of the garbage haulers has reached out about recycling, and I just need to know more about what the state's policy is, what our North Iowa landfill policy is, and what we expect out of our garbage haulers. And so, like I said, this doesn't have to be in February or March, and especially if they've just had that fire and they don't know what's going on. I think the guy's name is Bill. I can't remember the last name, but anyway, have him come down or and just go over what's expected for a recycling program for our town, and see what we can come up with. Because the bottom line is the digital dumpsters don't do recycling. And now DNL just got their annual license to collect garbage in Hampton. It's $200 fee. And this year they said there was no recycling mention on it. So I don't know if that meant before there was a recycling mention on it, but they feel that they're doing recycling, it's more of an expense to them and more of an expense to their clients than it is to digital dumpster that doesn't have to do it. And of course, they can ratchet the rates back a little bit. Now, I don't know if they'll, I'm certainly not digital dumpster, I don't work for them, and I don't know what their rates are, and I don't know if they have an introductory rate, and after the introductory rate's over, like Metronet, then the rates go up or anything like that. So just kind of want to get a feel for what the actual recycling policies should be for our communities, and if we are or aren't meeting them. At one time, we had to stay at a certain level, and there's all kinds of rules and stuff. So anyway, don't know where we are in that. I know we had garbage hauler meetings years ago, and it wouldn't be bad to bring them all together again. So that's all I have.
all right, thank you, sir. Mr. Lamos,
I'd like to say that the worst part of sitting up here doing this job 4 times a month, sometimes more, is the nuisance issue. That takes a lot of time out of Ron's time, Doug's time, Mark's time, and in the long run, all the citizens of Hampton pay for that. We're paying for dilapidated buildings that get tore down. We're paying for the building over here we're gonna repair. And our hands are tied with that because there's a building on each side. And we want, things for the citizens like sports complex or, other things. And when we have to take care of all that crap, it ties our hands. It's frustrating. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about borrowing that much money. We can use that money elsewhere, but we can't have a town that's a dump. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, I agree wholeheartedly. Mr. Blanford,
Well, I just wanted to thank Mark and Doug for answering the questions about the vandalism that they had in the area and staying on top of stuff. I'm sure a lot of the residents, once we find out determination of this, they're gonna breathe easy and hopefully that they get punished to the full extent on that. So that's all I got. Thank you.
all right, thank you. Well, for my report, basically, I just got a lot of thanks. First of all, to Doug and the city staff to getting that water main taken care of so quickly. I mean, when it was sub-zero temperatures. They got it done, and the thing I noticed, and this is a ongoing progression of what's happening with the city staff, is by noon, half of the city staff was heading down by Harriman's Park to cut up trees. We didn't take all day after that. When we got done with the water main, we didn't go sit in the shop. Them guys got out, and they got other stuff to do, and they're getting it done, and I really appreciate that for all of you. Next one, Mr. Dunt. I mean, the stuff he's keeping moving for this pharmacy. Something that none of us like, but it's something we gotta do, and he keeps wheel greased and keeps them moving forward, and that's where we need to be so we can get this stuff taken care of. And the only other thing I got is, every day without snow is one day closer to spring. We might get dumped on, but it ain't gonna last long, so come on. No snow, so that's all I got. Huh?
We're not Louisiana.
No, well, they can have it down there. They enjoy it. So that's all I got. With that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourning the regular session of this Hampton City Council meeting.
So moved.
So I give Jerry the motion and Mr. Blanford the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
This black's being stolen, I don't know about.
Maybe